Imagine waking up every day in a world where luxury isn't just a dream, it's your reality. Imagine earning millions of euros each year, driving exotic cars that cost more than most people's homes, and being surrounded by a level of comfort and exclusivity that only a few ever reach. That's the life of Ousmane Dembélé, or at least that's what the world sees. A football genius known for his explosive dribbles and brilliant performances on some of the biggest stages in European football. But what if there's more to his story? What if behind the fame, the transfers and the trophies lies a lifestyle so mysterious, so extravagant and so hidden that even his fans don't really know who he is? Some say he's quiet and reserved. Others claim he spends like a king, indulging in luxuries that most people wouldn't even believe exist. But the real question is, how does Dembélé truly live when the cameras are off? Is he a discreet millionaire or a secret extravagance addict? What's the truth behind the luxury, the money, and the choices that define his private life? In this video, we're going far beyond the highlights and headlines to uncover the hidden side of one of football's most intriguing stars. From his early rise in France to his record-breaking move to Barcelona, and the whispers about how he really spends his fortune, prepare yourself. Because by the end of this video, you'll discover the truth about the luxurious and possibly shocking lifestyle of Ousmane Dembélé. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, because what you're about to find out might just change the way you see him forever. From the moment he landed in Barcelona, expectations around Ousmane Dembélé were sky high. After all, he wasn't just arriving as another promising winger. He was coming in as the man chosen to help fill the void left by Neymar. But almost immediately, his journey took an unexpected turn. A serious hamstring injury struck early, keeping him sidelined for 5 long months. 5 months in which the pressure only mounted. 5 months in which fans and pundits alike began to whisper, was he really ready for this stage? When he finally returned to the pitch, the spark was there. Flashes of the brilliance that once lit up Dortmund. But consistency, that took time. And as he tried to find his rhythm, new hurdles kept appearing. Nagging injuries followed him like shadows, interrupting his progress again and again. It became a frustrating cycle. Recovery, return, another setback. The numbers didn't lie. In the 2018-2019 season, he still managed 14 goals and 9 assists, helping Barca win La Liga and the Copa del Rey. But even then, doubts remained. Not about his talent, that was undeniable, but about whether he could ever truly deliver over the long haul. And then there were the off-pitch issues. Rumors of lateness to training sessions, questions about his discipline, criticism from the media. It painted a picture of a player whose life off the field was holding back his potential on it. The club tried to help. They brought in a lifestyle coach, hoping to add structure and stability to Dembélé's daily routine. Slowly, the effort started to pay off. He became more dependable, more integrated into the team, and more focused. But it wasn't until the 2021-2022 season, under the guidance of Xavi Hernandez, that something truly shifted. Xavi didn't just see Dembélé as a winger, he saw him as a central piece of his tactical puzzle. He gave the Frenchman trust, responsibility, and belief, and Dembélé responded. That season, he became the top assist provider in La Liga, delivering 13 decisive passes and proving that he wasn't just a highlight reel player, he was a difference maker. Yet as things were finally clicking on the pitch, business behind the scenes was changing fast. Contract talks stalled, the club's financial struggles grew, and eventually the writing was on the wall. In August 2023, Ousmane Dembélé returned home to France, signing a 5-year deal with Paris Saint-Germain. But his arrival came during a turbulent moment for the club. Lionel Messi had departed. Kylian Mbappe's future was uncertain. The team was searching for a new identity, a new rhythm, a new star. And once again, the spotlight turned to Dembélé. Could he step up? At first, the answer seemed shaky. He struggled with finishing, and questions resurfaced. But behind the scenes, something was building, something was changing. And then, in early 2024, it all clicked. From January to February 2025, Dembélé exploded. 17 goals in 2 months, matching a record once held by Messi himself. The doubters were silenced. The headlines changed. No longer a player with potential. He had arrived. He developed a lethal finishing ability that had once been his biggest weakness. Now, he wasn't just dribbling past defenders. He was burying the ball in the back of the net with precision and confidence. In Paris, he didn't just find a new club, he found a new version of himself, stronger, smarter, more complete. Today, Dembélé stands as one of PSG's most dangerous and versatile attackers. Left wing, right wing, through the middle, it doesn't matter. His dribbling remains electric, his speed terrifying. But maybe the most impressive change of all, his mindset. The once reckless talent is now a mature leader on and off the field. So, what do you think? Has Dembélé finally become the player he was always meant to be? Or is there still another level waiting to be unlocked? Let us know in the comments, because this is one football story that feels far from over. As the years passed and the spotlight only grew hotter, Ousmane Dembélé began to show something que talvez valha mais do que velocidade, técnica ou talento puro, maturidade. The young man, once surrounded by distractions, late-night controversies, and constant whispers of missed potential, began to transform, not overnight, but gradually. Bit by bit, he became more grounded, more focused, and more present. No longer just a footballer running from injury to injury, he started to look like a man who had made peace with pressure and embraced purpose. Off the field, this growth was reflected in his personal life. In December 2021, Dembélé married Rima Edbouch, a Moroccan digital influencer with a vibrant online presence. Their wedding, held in France and filled with Moroccan tradition, wasn't a flashy media event. It was elegant, intimate, and symbolic of the new chapter he was stepping into. Less than a year later, in September 2022, the couple welcomed their first daughter into the world. The boy from Vernon had become a father, and with that came an even deeper shift in priorities. While his club career began to find new rhythm, Dembélé's story with the French national team also continued to evolve. First called up in 2016, he earned a place in the squad that made history in 2018, when France lifted the World Cup. His role back then wasn't the flashiest. He didn't dominate the headlines, but he was part of something bigger, part of a golden generation. By 2022, he returned to the global stage, this time as a starter. Although not every performance was celebrated, and some critics were quick to point fingers, coach Didier Deschamps never stopped believing in him. Through ups and downs, Dembélé remained a key figure in the squad, not just for his football, but for his presence, his spirit, and the spark he can bring at any moment. And then there's the side of Dembélé that only true fans pay attention to: the lifestyle, the taste, the machines. Over the years, he has built a reputation for having one of the most refined car collections among elite athletes. Among his favorites, a head-turning Bentley Bentayga Mansory, an ultra-luxury SUV that's anything but ordinary. This isn't just a car, it's a statement. Powered by a monstrous 6.0-litre W12 engine, it delivers 608 horsepower and goes from 0 to 100 km/h in just over 4 seconds. The interior, hand-stitched leather, rare wood accents, cutting-edge tech, and the kind of silent floating ride that makes you forget you're traveling on wheels. Depending on customization, this beast can cost anywhere between $850,000 and over $2.6 million. And of course, Dembélé's version, fully customized by Mansory, one of the most exclusive tuning companies in the world. But Dembélé isn't always about flash and flair. In fact, not long ago, a viral video caught him arriving at PSG's training center, not in a supercar or a luxury SUV, but in a Mercedes-Benz van. The internet lit up. Fans were confused, amused, even inspired. Was he trying to stay low-key? Was it for comfort? Or maybe it was just Dembélé being Dembélé, unpredictable, grounded, and unbothered by expectations. Some saw it as a sign of maturity. Others joked that maybe fatherhood had changed him. But whatever the reason, one thing was clear: Dembélé still has the power to surprise, even when he's not on the field. And let's not forget the business side of things. Over the years, Dembélé has amassed a fortune worthy of his talent. One of the highest-paid players of his generation, he's also built a strong presence in the commercial world. Once affiliated with Nike, he made a bold switch to Adidas, a move that elevated his brand and brought new sponsorship opportunities. Now, he's not just a player wearing boots, he's a face of a global sports empire. So here's the question: is Ousmane Dembélé finally the man he was always destined to become? A footballer with flair, a father with purpose, and a star who no longer needs to prove anything to anyone? Or is this just the beginning of something even greater? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Has Dembélé silenced the critics for good, or is the best still yet to come? Throughout his career, Ousmane Dembélé has built much more than just a name on the pitch. He's built a brand, a legacy, and an empire. His partnership with Adidas didn't just put his name next to a global powerhouse. It elevated his entire image. Adidas isn't just signing any player, they're strategic. When they invest, they go all in. And by adding Dembélé to their elite roster of athletes, they've not only amplified his visibility, but also opened the doors to multi-million-euro opportunities off the field. But sponsorships are only part of the story behind his growing fortune. Performance bonuses, image rights, and winning titles have played a massive role in boosting his earnings. At Barcelona, Dembélé's contract was laced with incentives. Every trophy meant more than glory. It meant financial rewards. From La Liga to the Copa del Rey to the Spanish Super Cup, every title added more weight to his bank account. And now, at Paris Saint-Germain, those incentives are even more aggressive. The PSG deal is structured not just around salary, but also personal and team milestones, a setup that could make the next few years the most lucrative of his entire career. And let's not forget the international stage. As part of France's historic 2018 World Cup winning squad, Dembélé earned not just the admiration of a nation, but also substantial prize money. International success, as we know, is often the cherry on top for top-level players, both in prestige and in pay. But here's where the story of Ousmane Dembélé begins to differ from many of his peers. While plenty of elite footballers are known for flaunting their wealth with flashy parties, endless shopping sprees, and over-the-top indulgences, Dembélé has taken a surprisingly different path. Yes, he owns luxury vehicles. Yes, he lives in stunning properties. Yes, he invests wisely. But unlike many of his colleagues, his lifestyle is more reserved, more grounded. You won't often see him making headlines for extravagance. And maybe that's exactly why he remains such a fascinating figure. Currently under contract with PSG until June 30th, 2028, Dembélé earns a staggering $20 million per year, roughly $384,000 every single week. That's the kind of income that could buy almost anything, but money hasn't changed who he is at the core. Even during his Barcelona days, when he signed for a jaw-dropping $165 million, a figure that could rise to $145 million with clauses, he maintained a certain distance from the excess that fame often brings. During his time in Catalonia, he averaged around $12 million per year, a salary that helped lay the foundation of a fortune now estimated at roughly $35 million. And that number isn't just a result of his salaries. It's the product of smart brand deals, strategic partnerships, and off-the-field ventures. It's the result of someone who, little by little, learned how to turn success into sustainability. Now that you've seen what Dembélé's life truly looks like, beyond the jerseys, the highlight reels, and the goals, one thing becomes clear: he's not just a superstar on the pitch. He's also a man who knows exactly how to manage the rewards of his hard work, whether he's pulling up in million-euro cars, enjoying life in high-end properties, or choosing to live more quietly than most would expect. He keeps people guessing, and maybe that's part of his power. So now, we want to hear from you. Is Ousmane Dembélé living the ultimate millionaire lifestyle, or is he more low-key than people give him credit for? Has his image changed in your eyes after knowing all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in the life of one of football's most intriguing stars. See you in the next video.